Hi, tribe. It's Alisha Brashay here from Cosmic Gateway, and I have a beautiful co host with me this week. I have Elle Klein from Priestess Light, and we'll be doing a bit of tag team reading for this week's intuitive guidance insights.
Yeah.
This is for reading C or card C. So let's jump into it.
Sure.
Let's see.
Shall we do it together? We kept doing it.
We can try. Trial and error, guys. We're just going
trial and success, sweetie pie. Trial and success. All right.
We don't plan these. We just hit the record button and see what comes out.
And
Whoa!
Ooh.
Ooh. That just got me.
I love you. I got a lot of cards today.
You go first because I'm pulling less.
All right. So kind of like the main message, the bottom of the deck is Owl Spirit, you see clearly now, which is this one right here. I'll show you all the cards and then we'll go through them. Cow Spirit, the miracles are endless. Beetle,
Scarab, yeah.
Scarab. English is my second language. I do know how to speak just particular thing. Magic works through you. This one right here. Turtle Spirit, slow and steady wins the race. We've got Wolf Spirit, turn knowledge into wisdom. This has been coming up in our last couple of readings.
Yeah.
Turn knowledge into wisdom, and sometimes life stings. Wasp Spirit. So it's interesting. This is such a different messages than what we got in the last two. I actually feel completely different vibe coming off these. All right. Kind of like the connecting thing is whatever has happened in the last few months that stung and sucked. There was some sort of miracle coming through it. You were birthing some sort of miracle through it. What it's asking you now, because it's saying before you didn't see clearly, it was hazy, you didn't know where to go, you didn't know where to turn, you didn't know what to do. That storm has kind of passed now. You see clearly at this time. And what it's saying is use that clarity that you have right now so you can actually turn it into manifested wisdom. So from really kind of still being in the ether, being in la-di-da land, all that beautiful information wants to be collected and really manifested into wisdom. And in turn, I really feel like you will be able to do something pretty magical with it. Pretty magical with it.
I'm just feeling the magic vibe.
Oh, 100%. And it is saying that don't try to think about how things will work out. And I know that if you watch readings, you probably hear this sentence come up quite a bit. Don't try and think about how things will work out. Miracles are endless. So it's saying that there's so many serendipitous events. If you actually knew like how much it takes for one divine encounter to happen, your mind would literally explode. Like literally explode. So this is saying have faith in the divine. I do get a lot of creativity coming through in the next, I don't know even what, I don't get a timeline on this, but I think maybe a couple months, really strong creativity. I can almost see movement, dancing, anything that's to do with really pushing your energy out and creating something, maybe painting or whatever it is for you. What it is saying though, don't just take this newly gained wisdom and just like a bull charge ahead. It's saying slow and steady wins the race. Why does it say it? It said because you're still integrating the wisdom. So actually from having the wisdom to integration to actually being able to access that wisdom and offer it to others in service, which has come up in all readings.
Light work is called duty.
Service. And it's really about allowing that wisdom to really facilitate into your field and almost like download itself into your field. And the way to do that is to be in creation. So the more you be in creation, the more you do things that make your heart sing and you just really relish, the more this information will be able to download itself, the more you'll be able to access it. And again, it's not saying just jump into, oh my God, okay, so I've learned all this from this and I'm going to share it now. No, this is about slow and steady wins the race. Just listen listen and act, and then listen a little bit more and then act. So it's really, and slow and steady doesn't mean it's going to be slow and steady forever.
No, I feel like a real ebb and flow.
Yeah.
Only because I'm looking at what I've got and feeling the vibes. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like, I don't know if you agree with me, but it's kind of like, yeah, slow and steady, but it's like speed up, slow down.
Listen.
Speed up,
And
slow
don't
down.
speed up, but don't necessarily just go in one go and just lose all. Do you know what I mean? I think as a lot of spiritual based individuals, a lot of people tend to do this. It's like, I've got this idea, I'm gonna just jump in, and I'm not gonna look left and I'm not gonna look right. And this is really about just hold on for a sec, really think about all the wisdom that you've gained, also from past acts that you've done, you know, what you've learned from your past as well. This is about accessing your own wisdom as well. But I'm really getting, it's almost like not necessarily the slow and steady part of it, but the grounded part of it.
That's what I was going to
Like
say.
the heavy.
It's actually building foundations is what
That's
it is.
right.
It's like leveling up. So
That's
it's like
right.
you build one foundation and swift movement to jump up, and then
you have
like
to have that heavy, grounded foundation and stability if you want to build anything. And that will really, truly be very, very much benefited by you creation, whatever it is for you. I see dancing in my field, just movement and beautiful, like whatever it is for you.
Wow.
Straight to you.
Beautiful. Well, I've got some different tones coming. I think there's that building and foundations and ideas and creativity, which is really coming forth at the moment. But this, to me, has kind of different tones, as you'll see. This has some divine partnership tones in here. So it's kind of like two elements playing out, because I think this is completely separate from what this. But it's all interlinked, because as we know, we're balancing different aspects of our life constantly. So what's come up here is in the middle, we've got the God of reflection. So the qualities that you see in others are simply your own reflection. You can see that mirrored reflection there, the male and the female and the light sort of emanating and casting over. And what really comes to mind is in that is like seeing the duality and the beauty in that, because whether it's a divine partnership or it's just a friendship or, family member or whatever, sometimes that offer of polarity and duality of being so opposite is a critical part of our own growth. It shows us and highlights different aspects of ourselves and mirrors back and forth, so that we can kind of embrace all the different aspects of self. And I feel like that's, on a personal note, on a personal note, I feel like that's kind of really going to a different depth at the moment, being able to see it for its different qualities, where in the past,
especially now, gosh, with the energies of the time, everything will be revealed to you like a mirror. Sorry.
Yeah, I totally. And it feels like, perhaps in the past where people's behaviors or different things have upset you or triggered you, or it's done exactly what it's needed to do, and now there's this higher
turn it into wisdom. Sorry, it fell. I had to sorry. Not sorry.
But seeing it from a different perspective is what I get from that card is, embodying that wisdom, as Al was saying before. It's allowing yourself to step into this new kind of more refined version of self through that process and seeing it differently. So whether it is walking the divine partnership path or just in your own internal process, there is this new wisdom that's gained in seeing the mirrors that are being shown back to you, whether that is in a partnership, relationship, or just in general, because the universe is always showing us exactly what we need to see.
That's right.
But and as we do that, we integrate different aspects of ourselves, and we heal and we transform and we evolve. So it feels like that aspect of your life is coming to a new understanding, which is really beautiful. And the reason that I say that is the other card that came out with that is the goddess of oneness. Someone you love is thinking fondly of you at the moment. So it does feel like the energy of somebody else interconnected in what I was saying is perhaps for both parties there's this new awareness of understanding why things were harsh or why things played out in a certain way, And when you can't come to that deeper level of understanding, things change, right? It's about you go through things and it enables you to unravel what doesn't serve you so that you can go through that ascension process or that refinement process. And when you come to that deeper level of understanding and you embody that wisdom, your energy changes.
Clarity.
Yeah, you get that clarity.
You get the clarity.
And things then in your physical reality do change.
Oh, yeah.
So, be prepared for, and I'll go to my last card, swift decisions and movement. Well, I get movement with that card, but see how it's like hovering over? It seems like it's evaluation, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like looking at the different decisions and aspects that are played out and being able to have that bird-like higher perspective view and being able to make decisions based off seeing that.
With all the wisdom that you've gained and everything that you've been through, it's, don't just toss that aside. It's a very valuable thing. Everything that you've been through, even if it's in a divine partnership, a divine counterpart relationship, whatever it is, a twin flame, those harsh moments, those decisions that you make, every decision that you make to choose yourself in that dynamic, every decision that broke your heart, everything, all of that is accumulating now. And I almost feel like there's some sort of closure there. There's some sort of circle thing going on, closure of a circle. And yeah, this is really about facilitating that clarity and using it now.
Yeah.
And not tossing to the side all that you've learned and doing it all over again the same way. It's really asking you to learn from what you've done and put yourself first and understand that whatever, like you said, whatever conflict, if anything came to the surface, it wasn't because the other person is terrible. It wasn't because it's a reflection, you guys. It's a mirror. So maybe we need to look at these aspects for ourselves.
I put it, it fell out. I put it back.
And it fell out again. This is a big one, you guys. This has been coming up. And it's for all of us right now.
So we've got 9. We've got pause, observation, 9 of Wands. So it's that reevaluation, isn't it?
That's
it's
right.
that coming to that cycle completion.
And taking
9.
a breath.
Yeah.
Taking a breath and actually, restocking and understanding what's there and so that you can see clearly. Don't just... And I think also that ties back into the slow and steady. It's not about just jumping right in now to the next thing. It's not about, what... we love to be busy. We love to do things. And it terrifies people. No. It terrifies people to actually sit and be with themselves, even spiritually oriented people, which we all are, but people that work in this field. Even for us, we get lost in the work. We get lost in the rhythm and the movement. We yearn for movement. And even though when we meditate, some people have a routine of meditation, but are you present, or is it just become like a habit for you? Are you really pausing, or is it just part of your routine? It's like, I need to eat in the morning, then I need to meditate, is it still this really sacred thing that you're doing to take time for yourself and evaluate and reevaluate and pause and reflect on where you're at, on learning all the lessons, on observing all the information that came through in the last few months? If there was, like I said, something quite harsh happening in your life, did you take time to really look at it, grieve it if it needs grieving, really tend to it? Like, that's, I think, a really
Tend to your garden.
Tend to your garden.
Yeah.
And don't just, I think in our area of the spirituality, there was one thing that I saw, like a meme thing on Facebook that said, be careful not to wear your spirituality like a badge, because that's an ego. That's an ego, because you don't want to get to a point where you just do things because that's what you do. I meditate, I go do yoga. Are you connected though?
Yeah.
What did you want to say?
Yeah, no, I agree. In some regards, it's like doing it because it's authentic within you, and that's a connection, a divine connection that you have with you and source energy or a divine partnership. Not going through the motions of it just because you think that that's the right thing to do. I think there's a fine line between actually being in a meditative practice or doing techniques or yoga or whatever it is, and actually being present in that moment rather than doing it for a specific outcome. I think that's
and using it for yourself and actually taking the time for yourself
Mm.
to understand where you're at and what you're doing.
it's such a sacred time. It's such a beautiful time.
Yeah.
And I think when you go through, as we all are going through such massive shifts, it does take that time
Yeah.
of inner reflection in introspective ways to understand where we're at, you know. And of course now, like, there's a lot of chaotic, confused energy out in the collective, and so taking that time to go within and dedicate your time to meditation practice or whatever, however that looks for you. Obviously, not meditation's not always the thing for everyone.
Yeah, that's right. Whatever
It's
it is, whatever your ritual is that you do to
your meditative practice, which
Yeah.
could be, 100 million different things.
That's right. And I just want to put a disclaimer out there, you guys. We've all done it. We've all
Oh yeah, this is
lost
not
track of, like, I'll do this, but you lose the purity of it, the essence of it, the truth of it, and the core of it. And that's why that kind of like understanding of, okay, am I actually present within this, or am I just doing it?
Actually, can I share something that comes to mind?
No, I'm kidding. Yes.
Actually, while I'm sharing that, one more card wants to come through for these ones.
Okay.
But from a different deck.
This one.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you want to do it?
No, I can't pull it.
She's scared of my cards. No, I'm kidding.
I'm scared of her cards. I really am. Just on that, like, I remember, like, just in my own reflection, you've distracted me.
Sorry.
I remember, years ago when I was trying to be more spiritual, and I can laugh at myself now, and I was trying to implement really rigorous spiritual practices, and laugh at me too. I was trying
rigorous spiritual. No, I'm kidding. I love you. You said I can laugh. You said no.
But I was literally trying to meditate 2 hours a day, exercise for 2 hours a day, and incorporate eating raw food. And I was working a full-time 9-to-5 job, and I had to transit for 2 hours each day.
Holy moly.
That brought me to my knees. It brought me to my knees because I was doing it because I felt compelled that I have to, because it was going to enhance my life. But I was actually just running myself ragged and in circles. I wasn't actually being in the moment and allowing it to permeate and enhance my life. I was actually creating more work for myself.
Yeah.
And when I kind of realized what I was doing, it took me a while too. And I realized that actually, no, I'm just going to do from what I feel intuitively. If I feel like meditating today, I'll do that. If I feel like walking in, yeah. And when I started living from that place of being more intuitively guided of what serves me best right now, oh my God, my life changed.
Yeah. And again, this is going into a really complete other conversation. And if you're still with us, good for you. I think, there are a lot of things that are considered spiritual and things that are considered not spiritual. Like, it can go off to this complete other topic of, what it's all spiritual and it's all what you're guided to do. And I think, yeah.
And it's so unique and individual for everyone.
So unique. That's right. Don't try to put yourself in a box. No boxes in this field, So yeah, show them the last card that we've got.
You showed them already?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I showed you.
Okay, so just to bring such a varied week into cycle completion.
Wow, so varied.
To summarize it all, trust yourself. Can I do a mic drop? A card drop? I don't
use that.
Ultimately, whatever's being presented, trust yourself first and foremost.
Yeah, that's right.
And if that's just one very small takeaway, trust yourself. You can trust yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
So, my beautiful tribe, if you are guided to do any
work with us,
thank you.
Yeah.
I offer a lot of energy alignment sessions, divine counterpart, like twin work. I will put all the details in the description box below. Elle here.
Yeah, readings as well, divine counterpart, soul. I don't know how to call it. Soul. In depth sessions, which are absolutely beautiful, and they're just not because I do it. I'm just the channel, but the information that flows through is just beautiful.
I can speak from personal experience.
I can speak from personal experience. I love it.
So if you are guided to work with us with any of the sessions that we offer, I will put all the details in the description box below. If not, have an absolutely magical week. Bye.
See you next time. Bye.